now, traders at Access Bank say Nigeria's bond market sustained its bullish sentiment as market yields continue to dwindle, with witness buying interest from mid to long-tenured securities as the short-tenured securities seemed unattractive. I have Ifueko Oduekun. She's the team lead for Treasury Coverage at Access Bank. She joins me now, and my guest host, Igbomor, for this conversation. Ifueko, thank you so much for your time now. But when you look at how the market has played out this week, what sticks out for you?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Good morning.
Yeah, I'd like to get your assessment of the market this week.
Okay, well, because of the bond maturity, the OMO maturity of about 560 billion, we witnessed a pretty liquid market. And typically, when you have a liquid market like that, what you find is that there's heavy demand for short-term securities, typically the T-bills. But what we also saw was that there was heavy demand for both the T-bills and even up to the long tenor bonds. So we are now seeing that the longest tenor bonds are trading sub 9%, while T-bills are trading at sub 2 and 1% at the moment. So, closing the week, we don't expect anything different. We won't believe that yields could even go down further, because the OMO auction yesterday, although it came out late, it was just about 100 billion that was sold, regardless of the demand of over 400 billion. So we expect all that unmet demand to come into the market and even reduce yields further. So typically it was a liquid week, and then we saw heavy demand in the fixed income and T-bill space.
All right, Egi, when you look at the amount of liquidity we're seeing in the space, though, how do you think this will impact going forward, especially going into next week?
So going into next week, there's going to be a PMA, and hopefully, just like they did last time, we expect that we hope that they would mop off more than what it is that is on offer. So going into next week, we see that the liquidity would reduce, because today is the retail auction, and we also expect CRR debit into the system today. So we expect liquidity to reduce. But regardless, we still see demand from customers who were unable to meet their demand at last almost auction. So next week, even though there will be reduced liquidity in the system, we'll also see that there will be a bit more demand going into the auction as well.
All right, Ifueko, let me bring in my guest host for today, Igbomor. He's also standing by. Egi, when you look at how the market has played out, though, for you, what sticks out, and what would you like to, if you have a question to ask Ifueko?
Well, I think what is worth looking at is the impact of the drying up of OMO maturities going forward. So, Ifueko, given the fact that the OMO maturities for November and December are significantly less than October, do you expect the downward trend in rates to continue to year end, or do you expect it to reverse?
Oh, definitely. I expect the downward trends to continue, because what we're seeing in the market today is an intentional move by the central bank. So they would, like you see what happened at the last bond auction, and what we're also seeing is that DMO is cooperating or working very closely with the CBN. Once there's any inkling of an adjustments in rates upwards, you see that DMO will manage, and rather than buy up all of what they had put on offer, they'll buy less. So we see that there's an active management in trying to drop those rates. So regardless of the fewer maturities that we have in November, December, we still expect that there's still going to be a decline in rates, and the decline would likely continue. At least it will stay positive, but it will definitely continue, because the demand for securities is significant and it outweighs the supply in the market. We are yet to see the Q4 calendar for the bond auction, but I don't think it's going to be any heavy supply coming in that won't fit the demand that is already in. Yeah.
All right, there's definitely quite a lot to look at there. Thank you so much for your time on the show. Ifueko Oduekun is a team lead at Treasury Coverage at Access Bank.